right, y'all. So I wanted to do a roundup of the Christmas books that I've read thus far. And I have three good ones for you. Okay? Book bays, book bays. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first one is Christmas with Kris Kringle. That is the name of the person's name is actually Kringle. Like the main character's name is Kringle. It starts off with this frazzle event planner. Her name is Beline. I hope I'm saying that right. Her last name is Goodwin. Beline Goodwin. She's the event planner for the Pavilion Mall. Now here's the problem. She went and hired a Santa Claus, but she does not believe it's Christmas. Like she doesn't. She does not like Christmas at all because so many crazy things have happened to her. So many, not crazy things, but I would say so many disastrous things have happened to her in and around the Christmas time. So she does not like Christmas. And so she sees this guy standing next to a Christmas tree. He's just looking at the tree. So they get into a little not spat, like a verbal volley, if you will, back and forth about Christmas. And then come to find out, he is the Santa. But he is this tall, good-looking black guy. And she's like, are you punking me? Like, where is the Santa? So she tries to call and get a new Santa, but of course it's about the month of December, so nobody's going to be available. So she starts to talk to him. They have dialogue. But what is interesting about this story is that she takes care of her sister. Her sister has Down syndrome, and so she is trying to do this push and pull with her sister being independent, but also wanting to take care of her because she is her only living relative. But you have Kris who comes in and he wants to be in a relationship. Like he is actively trying to pursue her. But unfortunately, she kind of thinks he's a bum because she's like, who would want to be a Santa Claus? And he is just like, I just wanted to do something and I've been out of work for a minute, so I just wanted to try something new. So this is what I'm trying. And she's like, yeah, okay, sure. And come to find out, he is an app developer and he sold, I think, one of his apps and made a lot of money. And so you get to see the progression of their relationship, but you also get to see her open up and blossom into understanding what Christmas can be for family. And he improves her life so much, especially even with her sister. Her sister is funny because she is to the point. Like there's one point where she meets his family, which is really soon after they, do their little do. And they were staring at her and her sister because they've never seen him bring a woman home before. And so they're staring and the sister is like, it's rude to stare. and she's, and Baleen is trying to like be like, shh, like we don't know these people. But she was like, but no, it's rude. They shouldn't be staring. And so it's interesting to see their dynamic and how they are in this space where she just wants to take care of her sister and she wants to find love and be loved, but she also knows that that will not happen if she cannot find someone who takes her and her sister as a package deal. So I really love this story. It was really cute. The dialogue was really nice. It was fairly quick with the way that they got together, but they had an epilogue, which I love, because I always want to know what happened after the fact. So what's this called again? Christmas with Kris Kringle. I say get it. It's on Unlimited, Kindle Unlimited, and I liked it. I thought it was sweet. All right, on to the next book. This book is really cute. It's called Christmas in Spite of You. And this time we have the opposite. So this time we have Noelle. Noelle is a Christmas freak. Everything Christmas. She has pajamas. She has the tree. It has to be real. She has the Christmas movies, the Christmas food. Like everything is set for her because she is a die-hard Christmas fan. And then you have Canton Joseph. Canton is a businessman who is all about the bottom line. He doesn't care about Christmas. It's just another holiday for his family to show him off as the golden child. So he really doesn't care either way. Noelle is strapped for cash because she quit her job and now she is trying to be an interior designer, but a virtual interior designer, which I thought was really interesting. So what she did was she quit her job, and now she is, during Christmas, wants to go home. But before that, she put a bid in for a contract, and she just knew she was going to get it, and she did it. So now she is really strapped for cash. So she goes onto a website sort of like Airbnb, and she puts up her place to for someone to come in and take it while she is, of course, in a new location and with her family. Unfortunately, she forgets to cancel this this space. Canton comes to the space for one reason only. So there is a businessman that Canton is trying to get next to, and he has a penthouse in this building, which is why he wanted this apartment for the week of Christmas. Unfortunately, when he shows up, she's there. And he doesn't realize it because she thought she canceled the reservation, but she was feeling down about not being able to go to see her family because she didn't have the money. So she got drunk the day before. Her friend was like, make sure you cancel it. And she thought she did, but instead she sent a confirmation email. So he shows up and she's just like, who are you? What are you doing here? He is intrigued by her, right? Not only intrigued, he likes what he sees. So he's like, listen, you can cancel the contract, but you're going to have legal trouble. Like, you're literally going to have legal trouble because that is not how this works. We signed the contract. The money was given. If you want to give me the money back, we can do that. But I signed the contract. So she goes with it and she's like, okay, fine. Because she really needs the money. So she's like, listen, you can have this space. You can have the kitchen area. You can have the sofa. I will take the bedroom. I will leave you alone. You don't have to talk to me. I don't have to talk to you. We just keep it moving. Her friend is like, is he cute? How's he look? Like, you need to jump him, like jump his bones. So she's like, no, he's a good looking guy, but I'm just going to stay in my space and everything should be okay. Because she lives in a building that has a doorman who adores her, like really, really adores her. He sees her as his surrogate daughter. So she knows and she feels safe. Because that was my first thing. Like, what? You sharing a space with this man you don't even know? But I remember that the doorman is like, for her, her family away from home. And so the story progresses where they are trying to fight their attraction to each other. But what happens is he has to take a shower. She only has a 1-bedroom apartment. So he has to go in and take it in her space. And there was a little like, should I not? Oh, I'm thinking about him. Like, there's all these things. And he does not like Christmas. And she is a Christmas fanatic, as I said. So as the story progresses, she realizes why he is there. And she's like, oh, I know the businessman. Like, his wife invites me to come to his Christmas party every year, but I'm never here. So I know I had to stay here, but, let this be my good deed and you can come and, you can be my +1. So he is so excited. And one thing that was interesting in this book is something that I always see people talk about, especially on social media, is how people don't listen, especially men, when you tell them something. So he knows that she is all about Christmas. And he wants to do something special for her because she is doing this for him, getting him in to see this business guy. So he goes to the concierge and is like, hey, I want to get a tree for her. And he's like, how much would it be to get like a fake tree? And the guy's like, I don't think she's going to like a fake tree. Like, I know her. I really know her. She's not going to like a fake tree. Like, that's not something that she would want. And he's like, whatever. Can you get me the tree or not? So when he gets the tree, they bring it up. She sees it and she's trying to, like, how you play it off, like, this is, how people who have ugly kids, they got ugly babies and you don't know what to say. She used to be like, oh, that outfit is so cute, or their shoes are so cute. That's what she was giving. He got upset. And I, in my mind, was like, why would you get upset when, if this person is all about Christmas and you get her a tree that's not real, but you know that this is like her thing, like down to a science. She said it multiple times. And even the concierge told you. So they come back and get the tree and the guy's looking at him like, I told you. And so he's in his feelings. This is my part. I was like, he is in his feelings. So she decides to come and apologize to him. It was like, I appreciate it. I know that you probably spend a lot of money to get that to me. but maybe we can go and still get it. So he's like, no, I was told that you would like the real thing. So they go and they get a real tree, and they do like this whole moment where he wears a scarf that she was going to wear, and he's trying to really prove that he likes her and wants her to see him as like a viable option for, I guess, a romantic partner. They go shopping because she tries to get him, or she tells him like, these are the things that the businessman that he wants to get involved with, these are things that he likes, so we're going to do this. And they really start to connect with each other. Mind you, this is probably like 3 to 4 days that they are together, but they do and they start to fall for each other. Like, he really starts to see her as someone who he can spend, the rest of his life with, even though they're on 2 different spaces. Like, she is down south and he's up north. They go to the party. What was interesting about this is that the person he was trying to see, his wife, had been watching him the entire night. And he was on a phone call with the person who is his like right-hand person. And so she overheard the phone call, and I was like, oh no. But she was like, I know you're not only here to talk to him, because I see how you look at Noelle. You've not taken your eyes off her the whole night. That is the only reason why I am going to set this meeting up so you can talk to my husband. The only reason why. Because I see that you really like my girl. Like, I see that you really like her, and I want her to have this happy ending that she deserves. Because the last guy she was with was a truly, 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 like, just asshole. So they do get together, but then, as always, he has to go back home. So he goes back home, and he decides that to show her how much he cares for her, he's going to do something big. And he does do something big. His right-hand person is like, but did you talk to her? And he's like, well, no, I'm going to do this because, again, being a man, because this is going to be the way that I show her that I care about her. But did you call her? No. So Noelle decides that she is going to bite the bullet and go to see him in New York. But when she gets there, she got a surprise. And instead of staying, she comes right back. And so things get lost in translation. He decides to, that day, when he realized that she was actually there, he comes back to her. And then again, she had a little surprise as well. And so it's a little fisticuffs happening, but it was cool. But in the end, he got his girl and she got her happy ending. This is a novel Christmas. I like this book because, one, they were older, which I always like when the main characters are older. That's always, for me, like a big draw. It also dealt with some very heavy things, and it showed how grief can impact every part of your life. And because of that, you're not living. So this book, and I hope I'm saying the main character's name correctly, Sarai Wright she's a prominent Black romance author, and she's been given a task because her reviews have not been so good. And so she's been given a task that she has to write a story, which is a Christmas themed story. She hates writing Christmas themed or any theme. It could be Valentine's Day, it could be Easter, it could be Jesus' birthday. She don't care. She don't want to write it. But she's been told, if you don't write this, you are not going to be able to be with this publishing company anymore. That is something that she does not want. So she gets her ass on that plane and finds a location that is all Santa, all Christmas. And she finds a space in Indiana. So she gets there. Mind you, she's from Miami. She has nothing when it comes to cold weather clothing. So she finds a location. She gets there and she is excited because she's like, never saw snow before, never dealt even with the cold before. She is a Miami, born and raised through and through. And when she gets there, she is in love with the space and she's at a duplex. Now, Dorian is the other character. He is the main character. He is a firefighter, a volunteer firefighter in this very small town. He also coaches the football team. He is an ex-NFL player. He is a widower. So the premise of the story is that she comes to do writing and finds Dorian. Dorian is fine as frog hair, okay? And he is Mr. December in a calendar that the volunteer firefighters have. And so, because this is a very small town and very few Black people, all of them know each other. So, when Sarai went to the grocery store to get a few things, when she came to the house, the duplex, she bumps into Dorian's. I think she is like the secretary of the volunteer firefighter department. And when when Sarai bumps into this woman, she sees the calendar, and he's on the front of the calendar. And so she invites her to an event that they have because, again, it's like 15 Black people in the whole town. And so from there, they actually meet. This is when they meet. And he is like enthralled with her. She already knew what he looked like because he's on the cover of the calendar and she bought one already. And the other thing is she doesn't know that he owns the duplex and he is living on the opposite side of her. So they start talking and you can tell like they have this vibe going on, but he's still hesitant because, again, he's a widower and he really deeply, truly loved his wife, which is the main reason why he moved to this town, for his wife. And so his guys are there and they're trying to, like get him riled up to be like, we understand. We understand the grief that you feel about your wife and maybe some of the guilt, but you need to live. Your wife wouldn't want you to, just be here and existing and not living. So they decide to start a relationship, I guess you would call it romantic relationship. But the interesting thing about this is that whenever she brings up something about his wife, or whenever he brings it up, he gets, I won't say standoffish, but he's like, I don't want to talk about that. So she kind of relents. But as the story progresses, she starts to realize that someone says he doesn't live in a duplex. That's not his house. So she's trying to figure out, like, well, why hasn't he said that he doesn't live there? We've shared, things about ourselves. I've shared my body with him. He shared his body with me. He is talking about us, taking to the next level. So when I leave here, we still can be in communication with each other. But he hasn't told me this big thing. And so she gives him 2 or 3 chances to tell her. He won't do it. And he knows, because the dialogue is going from him, like the point of view is her point of view and then his point of view. And he knows that he's fucking it up, but he just can't seem to help himself. So they made a choice. They decided to, once she leaves, to make themselves be, in a relationship, sort of. But she realizes on the last day that if he's not going to be upfront about him not living there, then she doesn't want to be in this relationship, because he has a major part of himself that he is hiding. Not hiding, but doesn't want to share with her. And she's been open and honest about who she is and what she does. And so from there, she just leaves. She writes him a letter, because of course she is a writer, and she leaves. So he is in a funk, the funkiest of funks, until he goes back to therapy, and his therapist gives him some information and some insight about the house that he shared with his wife being the holdout of the last part of his grief, and how he has to let that go in order to move forward with this new relationship. So I think about a week or 2 passes, and maybe more than that if I recall, and he goes to her house in Miami. He has to beg for her information from the girl who invited her to that that holiday cookout type of thing. So she relents, gives it to him, and he goes there. He almost had a moment with her ex, but everything was cool. And he says to her, this is what happened. This is what I'm giving you. I still want this with you. And of course, they get their happily ever after. But I love that this was, for me, a moment where I'm seeing more authors, especially, talk about the dynamics of men and how men are dealing with their feelings. Because a lot of times, I've been reading romance for a long time. But the dynamics of the male point of view and how he's not dealing with his feelings. And so he has to go to therapy in order to break down that last wall to be able to be in a relationship. So I like that. So definitely try these 3 books. They're on Kindle Unlimited. I will have the information below so you can just click on it and get the books. Christmas holiday things. I'm on, I don't know which number book this is. Let me see. I think I'm on, oops. Let's see. I am now at 53. I've read 153 books this year alone. So I need to get more videos in. But anyway, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which one of these that you're going to read, or if you have read them, I would love to hear information about what you thought about them. The spice levels kind of vary with these 3. I feel like a lot, you know what though? I feel like a lot of authors are dipping their little toesies into the BDSM space, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Let me know if you are too. All right.